Hey everyone, Blaze here, playing Duel Links. And before I start this video, I would like to apologize for not posting any videos for quite some time. I've been rather busy dealing with, life stuff, but now I'm back. Now I'm posting videos, and now you guys are going to get to learn a few things today. Hopefully. What we're going to be covering today, several different types of decks. One of which being... Actually, no. Just for this video, because just getting back into it, we'll just cover this one deck for now. It's called a worm deck. Now, I myself like it because it's unexpected. Not a whole lot of people run it. Not a whole lot of people have a lot of faith and confidence in this deck, unless they're running Worm 0. Now, we'll go over what that is for those of you that don't know it here in a few minutes. But I would like to discuss the deck that I have created using the worms. And some of the key worms in this are things like Worm Opera, Worm Tentacles, forget how to say this guy's name, Worm Aerokin, and Molting Escape, which is the 3 equip spells you see there. Now, let's go over why those 3 are important, and then we'll discuss the strategy a little bit more. And then after that, we'll go ahead and duel one of the AIs or a legendary duelist. And I'll go ahead and put this into play for you so that you can visually see what I'm talking about. So first I'd like to discuss Worm Tentacles, one of my favorites of the worms. Once per turn, you can remove from play 1 reptile worm monster in your graveyard to allow this card to attack twice during the same battle phase. Which is helpful, and he's got 1700 attack, pretty nice. Not the best, but nice. And then we've got Worm Opera. It's a flip effect monster. All face-up monsters on the field loses 500 attack except reptile-type worm monsters. So if you've got 3 of these little buggers sitting in your deck, I've only managed to somehow come across one of them despite how many packs I've opened. Anywho, if you got 3 of them, I'd put about 2 or 3 in the deck. Very, very useful. 500 attack is lost to everything except for your worms. That can be fatal, a fatal loss of attack points for your enemy, considering that some of these worms with some of these cards I've got here can get pretty strong. And you'll see why here in a moment once I go over the 3 equip cards that you see there. Worm Aerokin. This card cannot be special summoned. Once per turn, select 1 face-up reptile worm monster on the field and change it to face-down defense position. Now, what makes this effect is so useful is if your enemy decides not to attack, say for example Worm Opera, you can have Worm Aerokin down, you can flip your Worm Opera into a face-up attack position, everything except for your worms loses 500 attack, then you use Worm Aerokin to flip it back into face-down defense position. And as long as it does not die on your opponent's next turn, whenever it's your turn again, you can flip it, everything loses 500 attack all over again, well, 1,000 total, and then you can use Worm Aerokin to once again flip it. And no matter what, their monsters will lose at least 1,000 attack. The reason being is because in order to destroy that monster, granted if they're not using a card effect, if they're just attacking it. Keep in mind, I'm talking about if they're just attacking it to destroy it. Its flip effect will activate. The only way for them to get rid of Worm Opera without activating its flip effect would be with another card effect. So at the very least, for the most part, they will be losing 1,000 attack off of all of their monsters, which is very substantial. And then we've got Wonder Balloons, one of my favorite spells in the game. It's a continuous spell for those of you who are new to this, which means it can continuously stay out on the field. Go figure. Once per turn, you can send any number of cards from your hand to the graveyard. Place one balloon counter on this card for each card sent to the graveyard. All monsters your opponent controls lose 300 attack for each balloon counter on this card. So, between Worm Opera, Worm Arakin, and Wonder Balloons, your opponent isn't really going to have all that many strong monsters available for use. But this isn't the highlight of this deck either. The highlight of it would be Molting Escape. Equip only to a reptile type monster. Once per turn, if the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle, it is not destroyed. The equipped monster gains 300 attack at the end of the damage step each time this effect is applied. So what you really want to do with this deck, before you start messing with Worm Opera and Worm Arakin and Wonder Balloons, what you'll want to do, I'd personally recommend this. You'd use your Worm Tentacles with Molting Escape. And whenever your opponent tries to destroy it, it will gain 300 attack. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to wait for your opponent to attack. You can attack their face-up attack position monsters, and if your Worm Tentacle would be destroyed from your own attack, Molten Escape will take effect. Now, you can stack the 300 with all these equips. You can have 2 or 3 of them on Worm Tentacles. Let's say, for example, for practicality uses, so you don't clog your back row being your spell and trap card zone. Let's say 2, so you're not clogged. The effects will both activate from both cards all at once. So it will not survive one separate hit and then another separate hit. It will survive the one separate hit since the card effect is being activated at the same exact time. But what will happen is, since there are 2 of them equipped to Worm Tentacle, is instead of a 300 attack increase, it will have a 600 attack increase. Now, think of that for just a moment. Worm Tentacle, with its effect of being able to attack twice in its battle phase, if you banish a worm monster from your graveyard to out of play. Then you've also got it powered up for a few turns from Molten Escape. And then you've also got Wonder Balloons. Wonder Balloons is amazing for this combination, because you don't have to wait for your enemy to destroy your worms. You can just simply discard them. While you're discarding them, you'll be giving Worm Tentacle a steady flow of worm monsters in the graveyard to use its effect every turn. So, say for example, you're only able to get off maybe one increase with one molten escape. Well, that's still 2,000. And then you activate Wonder Balloons. Your enemy's monster or monsters are now weaker because you're discarding more worms. More anything. For that matter, you can even discard your other spells and traps. But you definitely want to discard at least one or two worm monsters from your hand each time you use this. That way you can have Worm Tentacle attack twice. And one monster attacking twice with 2,000 attack is pretty decent. And it's hard for the enemy to destroy it because of their lowered attack, its raised attack, and the fact that it's essentially got a, like a saving grace for all of one time each turn. That's one time is still plenty enough. Now, this deck is weak to things like enemy controller, or this specific strategy anyways, is weak to things like enemy controller, other things that change monsters into defense positions, and things that destroy spells and traps. But for the most part, you should be fine. And just in case, go ahead and fill your back row with a few things. I myself put Curse Seal, the Forbidden Spell, for any annoying little enemy controllers. The second they activate an enemy controller, I will activate that. Discard a spell from my hand, and it will stop the activation of enemy controller and destroy it, and prevent my enemy from using enemy controller for the remainder of the duel. And just in case, I've also got our wonderful friend Mirror Wall here. Now, I would like to go ahead and duel with this and show all of you that, this can definitely be a pretty good deck to use. However, it's still in, I'm still developing the deck. It's still in development here. So it's not ready for PvP yet, especially not considering the fact that I am in Platinum. This specific deck has not been structured well enough to take on Platinum. It would get plowed instantly. Now, one of the cards that we would definitely want here, nah, we'll show you in a second, and I think I might have mentioned it earlier. If I didn't, then I do apologize. Something called Worm Zero. Let's scroll down. Where are you at, Wormy buddy? Aha, right here. Worm Zero. I had one of my King of Friends buddies use Worm Zero on me, and that was a very terrifying experience because I thought that one of the effects was only going to take effect once, but it turns out he could continuously use that within that turn, so... Oh, that was hell. Speaking of which, shout out to Outlaw, my King of Friend buddy, who's been helping me test some of my newer decks, like my Legendary Ocean deck, my zombie decks. I've got 2 different zombie decks he helped me test, and he helped me test my worm deck. Worm Zero. The fusion materials is 2 or more reptile worm monsters. And for each fusion material monster with a different name used to fusion summon this card, it gains 500 attack, and also gains these effects. 2. well, yeah, 2 or up. Once per turn, you can select one reptile-type monster in your graveyard and special summon it in face-down defense position. 4 or higher, you can remove from play one reptile-type monster from your graveyard to send one monster in the field to the graveyard. That's the one he really screwed me with. And then 6 and higher, once per turn you can draw 1 card. Which means that on each of your draw phases, instead of just getting off 1 draw, you're getting off 2. Sure, you'll deck out twice as fast, but at the same time, you'll be able to get everything far more efficiently, which is what you definitely want in things like PvP. Now, who should we farm to show you guys what this can do? Who do I really want to farm? Wait, let's see what's Mako's rewards. Water hazard. Yeah, I need water hazard, so let's go with Mako. I haven't fought Mako with this deck yet, but wait a minute. No, that's blue keys. Oh, because I still need to farm Alexis later. No, never mind. Sorry, Mako. Yeah, I'll farm you later, buddy. Once I have like 1,000 more blue keys. Okay, guess we'll farm Kaiba because I need, what was it? Champions Vigilance Thought, so yeah. So, I need a few of those. So, let's farm Kaiba. Haven't taken on either, but I'm pretty familiar with Kaiba's decks. So, pretty confident the Worm deck will do pretty good against this. Especially since Kaiba's entire strategy is focused primarily around blitzing. And for those of you that don't know what blitzing is, it's pretty much rushing. You know, just you want to hit the enemy as hard and fast as you possibly can, and with this specific type of deck, that's not going to work out too well for Kaiba. Might work out a little bit better than I thought, because I only got 1 monster out of that hand. Okay, that's good. So, what we're going to do here, we're going to open with Worm Call. Once per turn, if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon 1 reptile worm monster from your hand in face down defense position. So, we get to double up our fighting forces. Or, just get those out there. And then, I really like this one, especially when there's annoying little face downs like that. Okay, nothing bad. Alright, when this card is normal summon, target 1 defense position monster. Change that target to face-up attack position. Very, very helpful if you're worried about a face-down monster. Be it if it allows the enemy to special summon, like Kidmodo's. Kidmodo's something you definitely don't want to outright destroy. Not unless you can really back up your monsters with a nice back row. Now we're going to go with Molten Escape. Just in case he can get out a Blue Eyes anytime soon. Which we definitely don't want just yet, because we still need to draw that Wonder Balloons. Oh, there goes enemy controller. But good thing that my monster's attack is higher. No, not my attack. My defense is higher than the attacking monster's attack. Sorry. Oh, no. Oh, okay, good. Oh, no, that's not good. Shit! Oh. fuck could he do that day? I thought he was going to attack my monster with my other monster. Okay, that wasn't the case. Now we're about to take a hit, but that's okay. We'll survive his next turn. If we can get out worm tentacles, and that's going to be real good. So... yeah, okay. Okay. Oh! Wait a minute. That's still really bad, though, because he's not sticking it for... Well, that one was lost. Sorry, guys. Bad hand. I know, this looks bad, right? Looks real bad. I'm sorry. But, don't hold it against the worms. The worms are pretty good. Just sometimes you get a wee bit of bad luck. It happens to the best of us. I'm talking to you, Outlaw. Mr. Brickhands. And for those of you that don't know what that term is, bricking, it's, you know, pretty much whenever you got a hand that you can do absolutely nothing with. So, Outlaw's Mr. Brickhands. But that definitely was not a good hand. It was decent, but not enough to survive an enemy controller sacrifice. So we're going to go in at this again and pray that we're dealt a better hand. If not, then that's going to be a little embarrassing. But we can deal with that. Okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. Alright. This I can work with. Very nice. Okay, so... ooh. Right off the bat, getting some pretty good things here. Then equip this to Worm 0. Switch this into attack position. Now you guys are, oh, wait a minute. No, I probably shouldn't have switched to that. Oh, well, he was only meant for stall anyways. My bad, misplay. But it's been a long day. Or, no, I was right. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. No, it wasn't a misplay. Ah, crap. That was a misplay. I forgot to attack with the Popus. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little nervous. It's been a while since the last time I... oh, no. Will this effect work on... oh, okay. It's not on Worm 0. That's good. Now, I wasn't sure if that effect would have worked on Worm 0 or not. It would have been pretty bad if it would have. But yeah, sorry for the misplay. I'm a little nervous because it's been a while since the last time I've recorded one of these. But as you can see, you know, even with the misplay, missing that, you know, attack, which by the way, 1600, Apophis has 1600, you know, he would have been, you know, pretty screwed right now. He wouldn't still be standing, but... Anywho, even with that misplay, we're still doing very good right now. What do we want? You know what? Just in case. Oh, sweet. What we're going to do, we're going to wait this out. Just in case that is an enemy controller. Oh my god, it does work on him like that. Okay. So, that's bad news, bears. But there's only one way to find out anyways. Okay, so what did we just destroy? Okay. And here we go. Too bad we couldn't, got that a few turns ago. Like in the first hand. And then I could have just... Actually, I could have blitzed with everything I had if I would have... Hell, even without that, I could have still blitzed it, but that's fine. Only 400 life points left, and we haven't lost any, but that can change right now. He puts down his battle ox. Okay, what are we getting here? Okay, let's see what we got here. Ooh! Okay, now we lost some life points. Should have figured it was that. But that's fine. He can only keep it on the defensive. Ah ha ha! Buddy, you just lost your enemy controller. And all the other ones. They're fucking useless to you now, buddy. Now what you gonna do? Still gonna attack me, I guess. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna take a hit. But that's fine. But like I said, this deck is also still a work in progress. But a good work in progress it is. I think I should probably replace some of those, what were they called, worm calling, for better back rows, things that are a little bit more, more, you know, defensive for me. Like things to help, you know, counter other effects or counter attacks, something like that. I mean, I do have Mirror Wall, but maybe I should take those two out and put in Super Rush Headlong or some enemy controllers myself. I don't know. Maybe you guys can comment down in the section below and tell me what you think. Tell me if you knew this kind of deck existed or not. You know, just, you know, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If you got any kind of tips, like for a good back row that I haven't thought of yet, like maybe enemy controller, like Super Rush, like if you got a better idea than those two, let me know in the comments below. If you haven't really heard of this type of deck before and you want to try it, go ahead and Let me know how it works out for you. Maybe even link your video in the comments below. Wait a minute. Did I say description earlier? If I did, I'm sorry. I got really lost in thought. But no, just comment below and let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys next time. And next time, we might be messing with a zombie deck of mine, which, like I said, if I'm not mistaken, I did say this, that Outlaw had really helped with my other decks, helping me test them, so that's good. Anywho, that's all for this video, and I'll see all of you next time.